Hello students, from chapter number 1 real numbers, we have started solving the sums from exercise 1.4 and we have completed question number 1 of exercise 1.4. Today we are going to begin with question number 2 of exercise 1.4. The question is, write down the decimal expansion of those rational numbers in question number 1 which have terminating decimal expansions. So in question number 1 we were given certain rational numbers which were written in the form of p by q, and we were asked just to identify whether these rational numbers they have decimal terminating expansions. And to find out that, we made use of two rules, that if we are given the rational number in the form p by q and suppose p and q are co-primes, that means they will have only one common factor and that common factor will be 1, and q, that's the denominator of the fraction, is in the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m. If these two conditions are followed by the given fraction, then that particular number has terminating decimal expansion. So we just found whether the given number has terminating decimal expansion by applying these two properties. Now here in the question, what we have to write? We have to actually write down the terminating decimal expansion. So quickly let's have a look. This was question number 1 and the first sum from that, wherein it is in the form of p by q, and then we concluded that the denominator is in the form of 5 raised to 5, which you can write as 1 into 5 raised to 5. In place of 1 we can write 2 raised to 0 into 5 raised to 5, and this shows that the denominator is of the type 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, and therefore the given number, it has a terminating decimal expansion. So this was what we did in question number 1. Now what we have to write is, what is the decimal expansion of this particular number? So let's move ahead and let's do it. So I have written the number first, and let me just tell you that there were 10 questions in question number 1, and out of that, question number 1, 2, 4, 6, 7 and 9, these many numbers are having terminating decimal expansion, and now we are going to actually write down its decimal expansion. So the first number is 13 upon 3125, which we have written in the form 13 upon 5 raised to 5. Now when you have to write the decimal expansion, we have to put the decimal point somewhere. It will be very easy if in the denominator you have the term in the form of 10 and its power. So how can we write 5 raised to 5 in terms of 10? So I can write it like this. I can multiply and divide the numerator, the given number, by 2 raised to 5. That is not going to change my original number. I have multiplied the numerator by 2 raised to 5 and multiplied the denominator by 2 raised to 5. So why I have done it? Because if you see the number at the denominator, the power of both the numbers are same, 5 raised to 5 and 2 raised to 5. So I can multiply these two numbers. 5 into 2 is 10 and give the common power to that number 10. So I can write it like this: 13 into 2 raised to 5 is 32 upon 10 raised to 5. And 10 raised to 5 means I have to give 5 zeros there. Okay, so 416 upon 5 zeros, and now it's easy for you to put up the decimal point, and we can write it like this. So count the number of zeros and accordingly put up the decimal point there, and this is the decimal expansion of the given rational number. Alright children, so keep in mind that every time you have to write the denominator in terms of 10 and its power, and then it will be easy for us to put the decimal point. Let's have a look at the second sum, 17 upon 8. So 17 upon 8 is 17 upon 2 raised to 3. But I want 10 at the denominator. So what will I do? 17 into 5 raised to 3. Because If the powers of the numbers are same, then I can multiply the numbers and give the power equal to the multiplication of both the numbers. So 2 raised to 3 into 5 raised to 3, that will be 10 raised to 3. So we'll have 17 into 125 upon 10 raised to 3. 17 into 125 is 2125 upon 1000, and accordingly let's put up the decimal point at thousands place. So 2.125 is the answer. Now let's move to the next sum. This is the fourth question from question number 1, which has the terminating decimal expansion 15 upon 1600. So this 1600 we can write as 2 raised to 6 into 5 raised to 2. That means 64 into 25 is 1600, which we have written. Alright. But if you look at the denominator, I want 10 at the denominator, so 2 into 5 will be 10, but powers of 2 and 5 is not same. I want the power of 5 as 6. For that, what I have to do? I have to multiply and divide the given fraction by 5 raised to 4. So 15 into 5 raised to 4 upon 2 raised to 6 into 5 raised to 2 into 5 raised to 4, that will give me 2 raised to 6 into 5 raised to 6. So now I can write it like this: 15 into 625 upon 10 raised to 6. 15 into 625 is 9375, and 10 raised to 6 means you have to give 6 zeros in front of 1 and accordingly put the decimal point to the number which is there at the numerator. So it is 0.009375. So make sure that the denominator you are writing the number in terms of 10 and its power, then it is easy for you to write the decimal expansion. Children, the other method is you can actually divide the number. So when I am writing 15 divided by 1600, do the actual division method, put the decimal point, and then also you can solve it. That is the alternative method of our normal division. So actually write down, if I consider the second sum 17 upon 8, so actually divide 17 divided by 8 and then go on till you get the remainder as 0. Alright, let us move to the next sum. 23 upon 2 raised to 3 into 5 raised to 2. Now clearly you can see that the power of 5 is 2 and we want the power of 5 to be 3. In that case, what you have to do? You have to multiply and divide the given rational number by 5. So the power of 5 will become 3 at the denominator. So 23 into 5 upon 2 raised to 3 into 5 raised to 3. So that will give me 10 raised to 3 at the denominator, and numerator will be 115. So 115 upon 1000, give the decimal point, 0.115 is the answer. Next number is 6 upon 15. You can write it like 2 by 5 because I have reduced the number. 2 by 5 you can write 2 into 2 upon 5 into 2 because I want 10 at the denominator, isn't it? So 4 by 10, 0.4. This is the simple one. Next is 35 upon 50. So 7 upon 2 into 5. We have reduced it to lower term, and 7 by 10, 0.7 is the answer. Last two were very, very easy. And this is how you have to do. And if you want, you can directly do our normal division method which we have learnt in our lower classes and find the decimal expansion. Okay, let's move to the next sum. This is question number 3, exercise 1.4. The following real numbers have decimal expansions given below. In each case, decide whether they are rational or not. If they are rational and of the form p by q, what can you say about the prime factors of q? So you have given a number in the form of decimal expansion. So you have to decide whether it is a rational number or it is an irrational number. And if it is a number which is in the form p by q, you have to comment on its denominator. Alright, let's see. Your first sum which is given to you is 43.123456789. Children, the number is a huge number, but you can observe that the decimal expansion of this number terminates. Alright, because there is no dots after the number, there is no bar on the number. So the decimal expansion terminates, and so we can conclude that the number is a rational number and it can be written in the form P by Q, because every rational number can be written in the form P upon Q. And since the decimal expansion is terminating, we can call that as a rational number, because every rational number will either have a terminating decimal expansion or it will have non-terminating but repeating decimal expansion. Alright, so the number we have written. Now count the number of zeros and accordingly you write the number at the denominator. So we have to give 9 zeros there. So my number can be written in this form, denominator 10 raised to 9. I can write 10 as 2 into 5 raised to 9. So at the denominator we have 2 raised to 9 into 5 raised to 9. So the denominator is of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, and therefore we can say that the number has a terminating decimal expansion. Alright, so the prime factors of the denominator are in the form of 2 and 5. This is one method. The other method is, this is the number which is given to you. The number has a terminating decimal expansion, and since it has a terminating decimal expansion, we can directly write down that it is a rational number. Because we know this, look at this tree. Decimal number can be either terminating or non-terminating. If it is terminating, it is called as a rational number. If it is non-terminating and repeating, it will be again a rational number. But if it is non-terminating and non-repeating, then it will be an irrational number. This is what we have learned. So there is no need for you, to write the number in terms of numerator and denominator and show. Keep one thing in mind, if the decimal expansion is terminating, it is a rational number. If it is terminating, its denominator will always be in the form of 2 raised to n 5 raised to m. But if it is a rational number and it is non-terminating and repeating, then its denominator will not be in the form of 2 raised to n 5 raised to m. Let's see some more example, then it will be more clear to you, and we will be following method 2 to find out. Okay, so let's see now. So this is the number given to you. This is second example. Now in this example you can see that the decimal expansion is non-terminating and non-repeating. You see the number 120, then 1200, 12000, 124 times 0. So nothing is repeating here, and the decimal expansion is non-terminating. It is not even terminating because dots are given. So how will we comment on this number? That since the decimal expansion is neither terminating nor it is non-terminating and repeating, therefore the given real number is not rational number. It must be an irrational number. Alright, and this particular thing will give you the clear idea about that. And since it is non-terminating and non-repeating, and therefore it is an irrational number. Okay, let's go to the next sum. Look at this now. 43.123456789 and a bar given on that. Meaning of bar is even if you go division ahead of this particular set of number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 will keep on repeating. So it is non-terminating and repeating, and you all are aware that if the decimal expansion is non-terminating but if it is repeating, then it is a rational number which can be written in the form P by Q. But what will you comment about the denominator? Q will have the factors other than 2 and 5. If it is non-terminating and repeating, the denominator will not of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m. It will have the factors other than 2 and 5. This is what you have to keep in mind, because such type of questions they ask only for 1 mark. Okay. Next. So children, these are the questions which have been asked in the final exam in the year 2008, 2009, 2010. And it will give you an idea about what kind of questions are they ask in the CBSE board examination. Because here we completed our chapter 1.4 is the last exercise of real numbers, and these are now the type of questions which have been already asked in the previous years of CBSE examination. Look at this 1 and 2 mark questions. First question, write whether the rational number 51 upon 1500 will have a terminating decimal expansion or a non-terminating repeating decimal expansion. Just check out whether denominator is in the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, and if it is, then it will have a terminating decimal expansion. So 51 upon 1500, let us first reduce it, and after reducing you get 17 upon 500. 500 I can write in the form 2 raised to 3, 5 raised to 3. Since the denominator is in the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, the given rational number will have a terminating decimal expansion. So the question was asked for 1 mark, and it is more than enough for you to write that the denominator is of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m. Therefore, it will have a terminating decimal expansion. Okay. Second question, find the HCF into LCM for the numbers 100 and 190. I have not solved this. I have kept this for you to write as a homework, because I am sure you all will be able to do it. Let's move to the next sum. Complete the missing entries in the following factor tree. Look at that. The last two factors are 7 and 3. So 7 3s are 21. Now what will come in the first block there? 21 into 2 will be 42. So simple, half mark for the 2 entries, and it was asked for 1 mark. Next, the decimal expansion of the rational number 43 upon 2 raised to 4 into 5 raised to 3 will terminate after how many places of decimals? The other way they have asked. We have been given that it has a terminating decimal expansion, but after how many decimal points it will terminate, that you have to find out. So how the method will go? Let's go stepwise. We will first write the number 43 upon 2 raised to 4 into 5 raised to 3. So I can write the number as 43 upon 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 5 into 5 into 5. If you check the denominator carefully, I have 2 raised to 3, I have 5 raised to 3, and this 2 is the one other factor, because I want to write the denominator in the power of 10 so that I can give the decimal point. So here I can write this number as 43 upon 2 raised to 3 into 5 raised to 3 into 2 I'll write aside, because 2 into 5 is 10 and 10 raised to 3 I am getting. So now this 43 upon 2 will give me 21.5 upon 1000 as it is. And now I can give the decimal point and it will come here. So I can say that the decimal expansion of the given number will terminate after 4 places of decimal. Alright, you can just count that number of places are 4. So this is how you have to solve the sum. Alright, okay. This is the next sum. Has the rational number 441 upon 2 raised to 2, 5 raised to 7, 7 raised to 2 a terminating or a non-terminating decimal representation? If it would have been terminating, it would have only 2 raised to 2, 5 raised to 7 at the denominator. But since 7 raised to 2 is also there, That means it will have a non-terminating decimal expansion. Okay, so all questions were for 1 mark, and these are very important questions which have been asked for 3 and 4 marks. I want all of you to go through the previous videos once again to check out this, because such type of question is 100% there in the exam every year. Prove that 3 plus root 2 is an irrational number. Prove that root 5 is an irrational number. Prove that 7 plus 3 root 2 is an irrational number. So you have to just see this and try solving this. I have not again solved it because all the questions we have solved. Okay, if the question is given as 3 plus square root 2 is an irrational number, there is no need for you first to prove that root 2 is an irrational number and then go ahead with 3 plus root 2. You have to consider root 2 as an irrational number and then directly solve for 3 plus root 2. Okay, so we will stop here for today's video lesson, and see you all in the next video lesson. Till then, bye, and keep revising and solving the sums.